Welcome to Miramar. We have a 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock plane path this time around. And a reasonable number of people are jumping early as well. Very interesting stuff. A lot of people going north as well. So potentially past Minas Generalis. And we could be looking at them moving beyond Junkyard as well. No one Hacienda. Or maybe one team Hacienda. A slightly worrying amount of people going Picado. So I hope we have some long shoots to Chuma. Craterfields has a team as well. And a little bit surprised that we've got no one going El Pozo. So, wow, Picado is going to be absolutely inundated with people. I wonder if there are some long shoots to El Azahar, which is probably what a reasonable idea here. But hold that thought for now, because we have MCH and Dog Legion effectively landing in the same territory. So Winchesters abound for Mitchie Boy, looking for Vomev. And I believe they've landed... Have they landed Boxing Ring as well? They have indeed. So 3 in Boxing Ring and 1 in Apartment versus... South Apartments, I should say, versus 2 people in the Red Apartments and another 2 in Casino. So Picado, already a source of contention early on. We see a team, I think that's team number 4, Tea Party, long shooting their way to Chuma as well. Very long shoot. Alcantara from Team 11. Steel Series are looking to stay out of the way early on. If you recall, they were very much in the southern portion of the map last game, and it looks like they're going very far to the northwest this time. So their strategy, fairly conservative, loot up in peace, look for opportunities, but not necessarily get involved in an early game gunfight, especially not when they have bounties attached to their head with those mice that could be won. Remember, kill one of them, not knock, but kill. You can win yourself a mouse. Limited to 1 mouse per person this evening, I should say. You can't just go ahead and win 16 of them. Oh dear, Casey. This is not a fun place for you to be. Oh, and... Well... Yeah, there were all sorts of reasons why that wasn't fun. But it looks like a hard Brexit will take out the top tier trash. We'll take out the trash. Oh dear. To start this game off. Ever so awkward now as we continue our slightly tense Picado scrap between the MCH Pound Boys and Dog Legion. Vomac still on his own on the southern side of Picado, by the way. Very much separated from the rest of his team. So if MCH decide to collapse south and go 3v1, 4v1 even, that's a very strong move. But if the rest of these guys from Dog Legion decide to push south instead, then they could end up taking out, for example, Magnum first, then Wreck Pal, and they could have a 3v1 kind of situation as MCH spread out just a little bit. They've still got some time to see how this is going to play out. The circle is relatively similar to last game, to be honest, so very southwesterly. They'll be used to this by now. Everett Tank listening to his headphones, reloading that Car 98. As long as he has some sights for it a little bit later on, that's going to be relatively tasty. He is very close to Sprucey, who did kill Katie earlier. He'll be acutely aware that there are enemies nearby. Who else? There's really not many teams, actually, that have landed next to each other this game. I feel like we've been all very, very civilized and very sensible with our parachuting. No one sort of rushing in. Maybe Team 9 on Team 17. So the Hillbillies on PUBG as they come into the circle from up north. But that's a stretch, to be honest. That's only 2 teams as opposed to 5 or 6 that we saw from the northeastern position last time around. Vomav, I said Vomax earlier, my apologies. Getting a glimpse of Mr. Muffs. He has got an SLR available, deciding not to risk taking shots. He's prone for a reason. He's looking around, trying to get information, making sure that the coast is clear. He has an entire team near him, remember. Oh, and this is awkward. Sprucey and Everett, I suspect, have found each other. And Really, that's going to be the end of that story for a while. I don't see either of them moving out from here. The problem is, Sprucey has teammates to back him up, and Everett Tank does not. Pepe coming in from the rear now. We've got Slug across the road. The longer Everett stays here, more likely he gets picked off. Oh dear. There we go. Pepe with the SLR. The shots land true. That is Everett Tank. Another member of top tier trash out of the game. Ooh, we have a much more accessible, by the way, first crate of the game, and it looks like Duck is on his way to get it, so the Tea Party could be in for a little bit of a payday. He's still got a little bit of mountain climbing to do in that buggy. And the care package contains an orm. That is absolutely delicious. Duck will be extremely pleased with that, and I don't think anyone is going to be contesting that crate as well. So all very nice. He's also going to have a lot of mountains to work with as well. If you take a look at where Tea Party are at the moment, the rest of the team have a lot of high ground available to them. Ooh. The Tragic Four are nearby, but they go straight past the crate. Okay, so they're not coming here specifically for it. Duck will have the opportunity to get completely level 3'd out. And I still think this high ground is going to mean that that orm is excellent. Oh, over table, just overturned. But that's probably a good thing because Duck is now well on his way out of dodge. There is no way these guys will be able to grab anything now. Is Duck going to stay around and try and snipe people off the crate? That would be so much fun, but also not the correct move from a team point of view. And indeed, he is going to be driving back to the rest of his team. While the Tragic Four, tragically, pick up the leftovers and realize there's not a lot left. The teams in the north don't look like they're running into each other. I'm waiting, by the way, for Team 17, Team 9, and Team 19 to come together in some horrible, catastrophic three-way fight. But, guys, it's straight up not happening. You've got the Hillbillies there, Soft Brexit, and PUBG, all in and around the same area, and they probably are all going to have to drive down the same road, south towards the circle as well. But they have to do it at the same time for this to be particularly useful. Banana and Jonesy, representing Soft Brexit, second place in the previous game, thanks to Jonesy's incredible snaking tactics. Oh, this is not a good place to be! Why are they getting out? They should have kept driving, I'd argue. Never mind. No. Banana killed Bacon. I don't know how I feel about that. I like Banana. I like Bacon. Going for the snipe, looking for another one. Banana's down. And Hillbilly Phil has heard the commotion. He's coming to aid his teammates. Jinx has killed herself somewhere in a vehicle. Not going to ask how. Don't want to jinx it. Well, that's their ride out of there. So now Jonesy and Banana are going to have to finish this fight from where they stand. I think Baconator is going to be able to get revived as well. So this is a 2v4 situation. And this is a bit unfortunate because Hillbilly Phil has a completely different angle from across the road. Jonesy has no clue he's there. Banana has no clue he's there. Well, Jonesy will have some sort of clue now. He has to get to cover and he has to get there quickly. Oh, so close. Come on. Not quite. Phil. Oh, landing a shot onto Banana now. That's dangerous. Puts him under half health. Two-shot territory. Won't quite make it stick, though. We find a little bit more defilade and some small buildings for them to hide behind. There's also a bike in this compound as well if they need to get away. So that's going to be okay. Where is Team 17, though? PUBG. They must have heard this gunfight going on. They were in Oasis. Can we take a look at where 17 are? They're chilling. They don't care. They're in vehicles. They're off the other side. They want nothing to do with this, mate. So maybe they're choosing to go west via El Pozo into the circle that way. Very interesting indeed. Blue now coming in. Remember, it's not actually that much damage. This is the first circle after all. A truck has been found by Jonesy and Banana, and they are going to hightail it, as are Team 9. So the Hillbillies and Soft Brexit will live to fight another day. Potentially even each other, as all these northern teams now getting into vehicles and running away. Pepe looking for some kills on the party bus. The Venga bus is coming, but not everyone is jumping, unfortunately. Oh, this is brutal. Getting absolutely destroyed from multiple angles here, as a hard Brexit this time around really shows what they can do. They all huddled around by the bus, not being able to do very much at all. Oh my! I was worried that the van would fall over and just crush them there, but that is it for Team Chundi. Very aggressive driving there. And hard Brexit, well, hard Brexit crashed straight into them with predictable results, as everything completely flipped. Donsel knocked in the meantime. Just knocked out by the blue zone. I think he probably needs some meds dropped for him as well, but there's plenty of loot to go around, I'm sure. Team 9 and Team 19 getting quite close to each other again. Jonesy and Banana might have to rotate a little bit further. No, they're actually stopping. They can hear people behind them. That's why, because that is top tier trash. Oh, no, hang on a second. They were slowing down, but have opted to keep going. That's probably the smart decision here. That's classic from the Hillbillies, still looking. Oh, he wants one of those headshots, but he's not getting it at the moment. That SKS not quite landing the shots he needs them to. With one wheel shot out in the truck, are they going to swap out for a new one? I think they would. Oh, brakes don't quite work as well, but they will get there in the end. Nice black color scheme now. They move on through the mountains into the next zone. Ooh. We are following Team Steel Series and the Shattered Empire here. It's a 2v2 for command of these concretes. We have Fern Dog and Parody UK going up against Habitual Boomer and Mr. Sergo. Steel Series have holed them up on the first floor. Watching for people to come in. Oh, man, if that was a frag. Oh. I swear that should have damaged Parody. The flick! The flick by Sergo, I swear he should have been down, but Habitual Boomer gets a headshot and a second kill as well. And now Sergo goes down, but Habitual Boomer behind him will be able to take out Parody UK and bring his teammate back to the fore as well. So that is half of Team Steel Series gone. And of course, Habitual Boomer will be able to get himself one of those mice as a reward, a bounty on his head. Sniper battle coming out now. Mitchie Boy finding his target with a headshot. Space Army, though, doing the same, but then going down to Mitchie Boy. So an interesting turn of events. We have a trade coming on here between Team 17 PUBG and Team number 8 MCH. Comfortably within the circle, so no time limit, I should say. Or no short-term time limit anyway on this fight. But realistically, unless you can confirm the kills, it's a battle of who can get who down fastest to make them waste meds at this point. Adishore getting an excellent headshot onto Rekpal, who had, and still does, have a really good position on top of that hill. So these guys are making the most of what they've got. Airtree J Wicker found a crate. Don't run over your teammate! He hasn't, okay. Oh my god, that's a headshot. I think he can... It is a headshot, but he managed to survive, and it looks like he's back in the vehicle on about 20% HP. That level 3 helmet already has a couple of dents in it, but I think he managed to bag himself an AWM. So they will take that. Mr. Muffs and the rest of MCH now just taking out the wheels of the vehicles. Preventing these guys from running away. His helmet is gone. I wonder if he has got a spare inside this building somewhere. It's probably worth a look for a random level 1 that just might be lying around. You know how it is, especially if your helmet gets chucked off and you're close to a compound. Rekpal getting revenge. A beautiful shot onto Martino's, and that's his helmet gone as well. These guys are really going at each other's throats right now. There's no... In my opinion, there's no need to try and finish this fight early unless you're able to rush in. And I don't really think either of these teams are in a position to rush in at all. So meds must be wearing thin on both sides. If I were MCH, I would almost use Team PUBG as a almost as a gatekeeper. Like, if you hear shooting starting from there, it means another team's coming in. Just let them gatekeep for you and focus on the south. Habitual Boomer. Coming in from the zone. Going back out to the zone. Deciding, actually, this might not be one for me. Mr. Sergo is also out there as well. And they're just going to be chilling by a rock. Very, very out of zone right now. And very within the sightlines of these snipers. Sergo is getting very close to death. He needs to get into the circle. He needs to get in very quickly indeed. Oh dear, that's not quite the way to do it. 15% health and dropping. Sergo needs to heal up now. Okay, he will. Meanwhile, I think that was Team Datterall. Yes, it is. John 41. They did quite well last game, but didn't get the placement that they were looking for. They're fighting Team 2K, who had the second highest number of kills in the previous game. Rotating in between several teams. Team 2K clearly one to be reckoned with here, but they are very late into a circle where a lot of the compounds are already occupied by teams. Getting to the crossroads, they are so lucky that compound is actually not taken. Jay Wick getting a headshot onto the Hulk meantime. That is elsewhere, by the way. You can see them now here. The Hulk having control of the warehouse. So lucky that there aren't any teams there already. Pretty much every other compound towards the center of the circle is taken. But Team 2K find themselves a home, however temporary. The teams are actually quite well spread out. There's still 15 teams alive, and we're 17 minutes into this game number 2. All to play for here. Remember, overall, if you get yourself into first place tonight, every team member gets an Arctis Pro headset. And in second place, we have the Rival 600 mouse. In third place, we've got the Rival 310 or Sensei 310. So a lot going on and a lot on the line. It's, yes, this is PUBG Reddit custom games, but this is slightly more serious than usual. Tends to be that way when these prizes are on the line. Teams that are on the edge. Let's take a look at teams who are on the edge, because we haven't really spoken about them in a little while. Team number 12, the Shattered Empire, are in north right now. And if we go back on south, we've got Tea Party, who hold Chumachera. They're pretty chill. Team number 9 in the southwest are interesting, because they're the Hillbillies. And team number 2, you can see here, Uncle Bobby's Lizard Farm, might actually come up behind them if they stay still. They're rotating north now, so they might not get the opportunity. But there are people rotating right into where they are now. So giving the Edge boys a little bit of love. The Tragic 4 as well, by the way, are out west. They finished 3rd in that last game. Got to give them some props for that. So they're looking to add to their points total. The final 2 members of Team Steel Series are relatively close to them. They're eyeing up that compound. They suspect people are in it. They're right. But they're not being targeted just now. Circle about to collapse. Let's see where it ends up going next. There is no urban center in the next circle. Will the crossroads still be in it? Only just! Team 2K are going to have to find a new home. Team Datterall are going to have to find a new home. Their rotates are going to be brutal. If I recall correctly, Team 2K have got 2 vehicles at their disposal. They will have to hightail it very quickly indeed. I'm not very sure about Team Datterall. This next circle falls perfectly, by the way, for Lizard Farm. Wild Otter just got down by Hillbilly Phil. We were talking about Team 2 running up onto Team 9. That's exactly what happened. First member goes down, and the rest of the team decide to stay back as a result in order to preserve their lives. Completely understandable. We are approaching the 20-minute mark, and there are still going to be 15 teams left in this game. So it is all to play for on Miramar here, as the teams position themselves for what is an extreme hard shift towards a 7 o'clock position here, outside of the urban centers, just to the west of Chumachera. The other team that's going to be very happy about this, of course, are Tea Party, because they were worried they'd have to move out and about over the mountains to get to a decent position, and they've actually got an extra circle's worth of time right now. Very handy indeed for them. So all of a sudden, the mountain ranges in the middle of the circle will become a bit of a free-for-all. Very similar to on Erangel, where you have several teams contesting Everest. This range of hills here is such a strategically important location that several teams fighting for the expanse of it would not surprise me in the slightest. Mitchy Boy trying to get a shot into the shack, but takes some damage himself. He's got other teams behind him to worry about as well, so can't get too complacent or just focus on a single direction. He has to be aware that other people might be out and about, and certainly he can hear the vehicles that are going on, I was going to say outside, but outside in all directions, to be perfectly fair. Team 17 have a relatively central position, Team PUBG, so their rotation has been okay. We have some very, very late rotations in now. Soft Brexit getting into the circle now. That's Jonesy and Banana. And we also have Team 14, Dog Legion. We almost wrote them off earlier on, very late into the circle, but they now occupy a lot of the spaces that these teams were previously. Lego Guy in the building. Hang on a second. This is not a good idea. How did he survive that? Oh me, oh my. Clover and Doge, top tier trash, hauling up inside this building. Lego Guy finds Doge. It's only Clover upstairs now. And he knows Clover's there. Classic jump out. Oh, and Lego Guy manages to finish off Clover, despite Clover getting the first shot off. Good jump. Had the potential to rotate on either side. But unfortunately, that is Team 10 out. 22 minutes, and we're finally down to 14 teams. That's how long it took, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent headshot from Kira onto Slug there. And Kira and the rest of Team 15, that's Team 2K. Well, they didn't choose the Shack Life. The Shack Life chose them. And they could be taking shots from all manner of directions right now. This is a fine position to not get pushed from, but for literally everything else, they are not having a lot of fun. There's plenty of high ground to look down on them from multiple angles, and it's a horrible place to be. But you also have to wait and see what the circle does, because it can turn into something great if everyone's coming at you from one direction. Mitchy Boy gets one of his shots onto the shack. Remember, those windows make it very difficult to haul up safely and look out at the same time. You can see they're hunched in the corner now. They know that any of those windows could mean death. Super Turban getting the rest of Steel Series, so he goes ahead and grabs himself a little bit of loot. Yeah, boys. As Team Steel Series will be the 14th team in this second game on PUBG Reddit's October tournament. The next circle, fairly chill, reasonably donutty into the center. And again, Team PUBG, very strong position there in this compound. I think them and Team 8, the MCH, both doing very well for themselves. With the ability to, of course, see around those corners as well. Oh, Mitchy Boy onto Kira again. This just really highlights how much of a great position MCH have, and how much of a horrible stuck-in-one-place position Team 2K have. 2K are a tremendous team. They got 10 kills in the last game, but they're almost rendered impotent right now because of where they are, because of the position that they're in, and because it's so difficult to rotate out. They need to come up with some ideas pretty quickly, and I'm just not sure they're there to be had right now. Vertix getting a return shot onto Mitchy Boy, so winning the firefight outright is always an option. A lot of people now shooting at Soft Brexit, trying to rotate to the opposite end of the circle. They'll succeed in doing that, but Uncle Bobby's Lizard Farm very close to them, and you also have Team 4, that's Tea Party, rotating almost straight into them as well. They've still got all 4 alive, by the way. They've had a relatively quiet game, but suddenly this area of the map has turned into an absolute free-for-all. There's Team 2. There's Team 19. We've got Team 3 relatively close by as well. Stovall getting it down onto John. Jonesy getting spotted out. And I think Team 4, actually, Tea Party, are in a great position because they are in the southernmost position, meaning they only ever have to push in one direction. Banana and Jonesy both go down, so that soft Brexit, the second place finishers in the previous game, now completely out of the game. Very shortly following them, though, are the Tragic 4, who finished third. So both of them are out, which potentially means it's looking very good for hard Brexit from a points total point of view. Duck going to go back to resurrect Coldy now. Coldy is an old man. He can't walk on his own. He needs the help of other people, but we all know this, and it's normal and expected. Sprucey gets his helmet taken clean off by Jaywick. That's washed up in Sanok, all the way down there in the valley from the low ground position, getting a very, very nice snipe. They won't be able to get the finishes on them, though, because when you're high ground like that, you should always have the option to revive. Very difficult to finish off those kills unless you have multiple teammates with eyes on the target as soon as they start shooting. And that, I think, is the second last member of Team 2 down as well. So Lizard Farm now getting mopped up by Tea Party as they close in on the southwestern quadrant of the circle, trying to mop up everything. It's only Stovali left. Bat will get revived, but Team 4, Tea Party, are absolutely locking them down right now. Great knock, though. 1v1 trade, and we've got Stovall versus Duck. Duck will be able to win that out. Everyone goes down. Valko needs to get revived very quickly indeed. I think he's been down once before this game already. Meanwhile, Teams 13 and 15 washed up in Sanok and Team 2K. Very close quarters here, and it looks like Team 15 are going to win out on this occasion. Kira managing to get the last couple of kills, and importantly, oh no! Islow didn't get revived in time. All four of them could have stayed alive there. A little bit of a blunder, perhaps, and Team 2K are down to 3 people, but they do win the engagement regardless. And they're going to be able to rotate up into the northeastern part of this next circle. Team number 8, MCH, still holding the center, doing extremely well. Team 4 on the outside, Tea Party sweeping in from the southwest. They're going to be walking into Team Datarol next and potentially within the sights of hard Brexit. They won the last game, looking to try and make it 2 in a row. They got 16 kills between them. Do not underestimate them over on the west side of the circle. Up north, we have Team 17. That's PUBG, who've played this positionally very well, I have to say, and won a couple of key engagements. And they are trying to gatekeep Dog Legion at the moment alongside Team 15, Team 2K. Dog Legion kept all 4 alive, but in this push into the circle, they had to split up a little bit, and their hand was forced as a result. Vertix now trying to get eyes on the remaining 2 members. This is not a fun rotation for Dog Legion at all. Meanwhile, all kicking off over here. Coldy is down once again, and so is Gwen, leaving Falco and Duck to try and finish off Team 9. The Hillbillies, though, fighting back. Baconator trying to get some purchase. Gets a couple of shots on target, but I don't think he manages to get it down anywhere. Coldy will get finished off by a frag grenade coming out from Multicom. Duck and Falco now pushing over the ridge, and it looks like Multi is going to be very close to them indeed. Pepe possibly looking for a piece of this action as well. Multi gets Falco, but Duck returns the favor onto Baconator. This is a 1v1 in terms of who is up, and we can spot out of the smoke Duck potentially in an advantageous position, but Multi runs straight past him into another bit of smoke though. And Multicom gets taken out by someone else entirely. That is Zerk from Team 3. What is going on here? Sprucey still alive. Team 9 is eliminated. That is the Hillbillies. And that means as well, of course, that Tea Party still exists. Duck is the only member there. Pepe and Slug, very, very close now. And they will be close enough to pick up Pepe. Ooh, Air Titan almost getting absolutely slobbered by that frag grenade. Vertix spots him again. I think that's a little bit too short. Oh, never mind. Bullets will do just fine. That's team number 14, Dog Legion. They had such a rough rotate. They had all 4 people alive before this circle. They did such a good job. But unfortunately, they ran out of room to maneuver. Duck, the only person alive now for Tea Party, having to snake it in. We have hard Brexit with 3 alive? No, with all 4 alive. Damn. On the west side of the circle. They still have to do something about MCH, though, as the circle continues to shrink. I don't know what god they prayed to this morning, but I'll tell you what, RNGesus is certainly in their favor, as the compound they're in is basically still inside the circle. So MCH doing tremendously well. Defending their position well as well. At the end of the day, you still have to deliver the goods. Unfortunately, the high ground advantage was too much. And Duck gets taken out by Zerk. Means Team Datarol will spoil the Tea Party. and make it into the top 5 teams. Team Hard Brexit. 4 people now. Second game in a row. Slug goes down. Zerk gets 2. Doesn't get 2 kills, rather. He gets the finish onto Slug as well. That gives Donsel an opportunity to take him out. We're down to 4 teams now. We have Team 2K. We have Team PUBG. We have Hard Brexit. Who's the 4th team? Oh, these guys, of course. MCH. You can just keep holding this compound. All 4 of them are here. The next circle. Oh, man. Doom Buffalo. What a beautiful frag grenade that was. He's probably going to try and finish. If I were him, I would. Mitchy boy round the outside. Tries to get the finish off. And actually, 2 people are down. Oh, dear. And Mr. Muffs now getting taken out as well. Rekpal going to have to do some drastic measure style stuff. Tries to jump out. Fails the first time. Doom Buffalo in the corner. Potentially waiting for him. He's looking the wrong way now. And Rekpal will finish him off, but at the loss of a team member. So we have Hard Brexit. We have Team 2K, who have impressed but are only down to 2 people. And we have MCH. And Hard Brexit seem to be doing the smart thing. Oh dear, Vertix gets it down onto Mitchy Boy. Did he see the person on the right? He did indeed. Is it going to matter though? Vertix goes down. Magnum will take him down. Iob is too far away to make a difference right now. I think the frag is just short. It is indeed just short. Explodes the other side of the corrugated fence. Lets the rest of the team know that they remain there. And the next circle now is going to benefit. Finally, their patience pays off. Hard Brexit. Iob, though, gets a headshot onto Pepe. This is all gearing up very nicely for the final fight with Hard Brexit. And they could be winning their 2nd game in a row. IOB2K with the Molotov. Very creative, trying to see if we can finish off the downed quickly, but the fire won't spread to where the downed were. 2v1v2. Donsel and Sprucey. After Pepe got taken out, holding the zone. Now everyone is going to have to rotate that way. And teammate are going to have to go via Team 15. They know this. They know that Team 2K is waiting for them. And beyond them, we have Hard Brexit as well. Sprucey getting the shots onto Rekpal very early on indeed. 2v1v1. Now this is rockin' hard place territory for sure. Wow, and Donsel actually takes a Magnum before they even bother leaving the compound, using that additional fight to their advantage as they third person literally everything. Team Kill Steelies, ladies and gentlemen, or Hard Brexit, will win their 2nd game in a row. What an absolutely dominating performance from them. That is 16 kills once again on their way to a 2nd chicken dinner, and they finish the 3rd person part of the competition firmly in the lead. We now move though to 1st person. Different game, different rules. Can they continue to hold up the dominance, or are we going to see different teams now come to the fore? We are back on the opposite server in the 1st person view straight after this break. We'll see you soon at the PUBG Reddit end of season tournament.